Okay, this is where I'm at the debuffs and certain things I've learned over the past few days experimenting. Um, you have the attack, but a lot of these have to do with it. Today, I'm gonna specify strength, for example, and when I go to, I mean, a bunch. 'Cause later on, I'll have to put like intelligence and all that because certain races might like intelligence might help a mage attack harder or or a priest or dex could help an archer. But anyway, right now that's way ahead. Let me go here, and I did the attack power, and I did the strength too because as you'll see, it's on this test the strength has a lot to do with the attack power and what you'll the logic that I found out that I'll need is something like this. You could stop the video and plus I'll put it in the description later on the Discord. These are some of the logics I think are needed for this to work. How to do it? Well, I'm not advanced enough for that yet. But anyhow, let me get back and showing you why this something of this nature is needed. Um, the thing is, it's not just when you do the buff. It's not just making your stats go back after the buff is done. You also need to it has to like during the buff. There's changes too. Like if you change weapons, like right now stats, and then if you put this, now you have 53 strength, and that messes up the whole buff thing if you don't put like triggers to resend the buff out of prior, and it's messy. But let me just okay, let me put these back on here, and you'll see everything will work just fine as with these two swords that have no strength. This one has strength, and you'll see in the future how that kind of breaks the buff up to be inaccurate. Okay, let's start it off here. And we'll see the numbers live. And see, that went down 20%. That was at 10 and went down to 8. Perfect. 20%, right? Okay. So, I could take him off. There's a lot of problems with the swapping, but since this has no strength, it's just attack power. It seems to work alright now. Put it back, everything's still 8. But in somewhere in the memory it has you saw how it took 2 out from the attack power, which is 20%. But when you go to this big sword, that was I forgot where it was, but I'll explain. Now you go to attributes. It was at 53. Now I remember. So the 2 it took away from that, it took away on this. Instead of taking a 20%, and it's not. But I mean, okay. Um, this went down. I think. I know it went down, but probably not as much as it should have. Like now, I'll start it over, and you'll see when you start with a weapon that has strength, the whole thing just kind of goes funky. At first, initially it's good, but watch. Now, the difference here is that I'm starting with a big sword, and it has the strength, which the other one didn't have. And okay, now we're at 59, 185, and 3. Okay, let's see how it changes. Now, last time, remember, it was at 53, went down 2 points. Now, 60, it'll go a lot more. See, it went down to 47, and so everything now is at 42 because it's using that weapon. But look, and also how this um, doesn't work because of the strength like the other one did. It's not as it's just more broken. Watch, okay, it's here. Those numbers now. Take it off, put it back on, and this went up to 203. So that's broke. And then if I switch to these swords, let's see. Well, now I'm negative here because whatever it took from the other one, it's taking it off the same amount to this, to the double one-handed swords, and this number is way off. This is too high. This is too low. So it kind of all gets out of whack. And but as you see here, I did it the first day. I did it with just attack power, but I threw in the strength, and the reduction here, and so yeah, this is just the AOE thing, and I added all this here, coming up from here. But yeah, I guess it's not just changing the values at the end of the buff back to normal. Within the buff, the duration of the buff, the weapon swapping or any item swapping that has different stats will affect. So yeah, this is where I figure it's gonna need this stuff here from just checking possibilities, and yeah, this is how I set this up, so I can go here and figure stuff out here, then bring it back here, paste it here. I can just unpin it here, put it here, do two of them, pin it to both of them. But it's what this stuff is. I haven't figured out yet how to implement all this stuff, which is just my recent, studying that tells me I gotta do this, like fire event, possibly fire an event before weapon swapping to prepare for the change, and then adding it after the weapon swap, like remove debuff before the weapon swap, before switching weapons, remove debuff on the character stats, reapply the debuff after the swap, like via some kind of triggers or something. And I don't know if I would have to do that here, reference from here, or just do it here. I've done some stuff here and there, I mean, you can see I had a lot of windows open. I was experimenting stuff. So I don't really know what I'm doing, but eventually something clicks, little by little. I just wanted to update that. Yeah, it seems like this works, but it's the stats. There's more to it. It's tedious. It's a lot of stuff that's gonna have to be done. But okay, well, bye bye.